Hey guys, this is going to be a part 2 to the Super ATV Rack Boss RZR 800S steering rack install on a 2021 CF Moto Z-Force 800EX. If you've watched the previous video, we got up to the point of installing the heim joints down here. The stock CF Moto tie rod end ball joints are typical right hand thread, but the Super ATV tie rod ends are left hand thread on this end, right hand thread on the opposite end, so this won't work. So the Super ATV kit, mine, they excluded the heim joints out of the kit. They had to resend me those. This is them here. You got your misalignment bushings, 3/8 bolt. So when we remove the tie rod end, one thing I ran into is this hole is about a 1/2 inch tapered hole. So naturally I'm gonna stick it in upside down. See, I mean, this, it's just not gonna work. So I went over to a buddy's, we did a little machining. I took a little brass and I made me a tapered bushing to fit right down in this hole. So now that's just gonna sit in there like so. And when we drop our heim joint in, boom. Once we actually put the bolt on it, stiffen up. There's gonna be no real twisty turny pressure or anything like that on this bushing. So there's no worries about that. For you guys who don't have access to a lathe, one other thing that I considered and will work, go to your local O'Reilly's, AutoZone, your automotive parts store, and go through their door bushing kits. Most of the bushings are made of bronze. You can find different outside diameters and inside diameters. I did find one bushing that was 525 thousandths on the outside, right at 358 I think it was on the inside. So a 3/8 bolt is 375. That's about the size of the bolts that comes with the Super ATV kit. The hole in this, I actually measured it when I made the tapered bushing. It's 500 thousandths or 1/2 inch on the bottom. It was 580 thousandths on top. That's why we made the little bit of a taper that you can see on the bushing. I'm a little more meticulous. I'm kind of a perfectionist. It's OCD in me, so I made mine. But if I couldn't make that or couldn't find the material to make it, the door bushing option was second on my list, and that's what I would have went with. I'm getting ready to cut about a 1/2 inch total off of the tie rod itself. Quarter inch off each end. You don't want to take too much off of one end. Just kind of checking the threads are about an inch deep in each end. If you take too much threads off of one end, you may not have enough on one end and too much on the other. But once I put get all this back together. Once you actually put the heim joint on, and like I say, on your hub, we don't know what's straight and what's not yet for alignment, but just putting that in, getting this down here, I mean, we're already past being able to just even cinch this up with no adjustment whatsoever. So if I take about a 1/2 inch off of this end and 1/2 inch on the other end, it's going to give me plenty of room to do a good front end alignment once I'm done. And we may do a little second video on that, but I will edit back into this little clip and let you guys know exactly how much I did cut off of the Super ATV tie rods to make sure I'm comfortable with the amount of adjustment that I have to do a proper front end alignment. So we did a little experimenting on cutting the rods. We started out with a 1/4 inch on both ends. I didn't think that was enough, so I ended up doing 3/8 off each end. Just looking at my hub, I can definitely tell, even though the suspension is stretched out and relaxed, I can definitely tell I have toe out at the hub itself. So I have plenty of room here to adjust and get toe in if I need be. So 3/8 of an inch seems to be the ticket for me. But I hope these videos have helped you guys see what it's like to swap this out. The main thing is the bushing on the steering arm of the hub. once you do that, the 3/8 bolt. I am going to have to replace the bolt and nut that came from Super ATV, just barely tightening the other side. The thread stripped out of it, so instead of going with a cotter key design, I'm going to do an aircraft nut or a locking nut on a 3/8 bolt. But that's it, guys. Hopefully we'll get the wheels and tires back on and do a little front end alignment, and the Z-Force 800 lives again.